Over the past few months, metrical users have posted around 14 million regular reels, and only 526,000 of them were trial reels. That's less than 4%, which is strange because on paper, a trial reel has a real edge over a regular one. When you post a regular reel, Instagram shows it to your followers first. And how they react is what tells the algorithm whether it's worth pushing further. A trial reel flips that. Instagram shows it to people who don't follow you first. It never touches your profile or your Reels tab, and you decide afterward, after you've seen the numbers of how they performed, if you want to publish it on your account or if you just want to let it go. And this feature has been sitting on Instagram for over 2 years with only a small percentage of people using it. And we weren't using them that much either, not at least until recently. And the real question was whether they were worth it. So, instead of guessing, we put them to test and posted more than 50 reels over 4 weeks. To make sure the tracking meant something, we kept the testing on a schedule. 2 to 3 trial reels a week, each one loaded into Metrical 2 days before it would normally go live. That way, we had a real window to check the numbers before it reached anyone beyond a small test audience. The first rule that we knew we had to have was deciding what counted as a win by yourself, not by Instagram. Because by default, Instagram can look at the numbers itself and auto-publish that trial reel to your feed for you. But we turned that off and set our own parameters instead. And the benchmark here wasn't just views either. We didn't want to lean on one metric alone. So we tracked views, shares, and saves together. And that combination was what decided whether if a reel moved onto everyone or went back to, again, trial reels for another round. Then our second rule was to change one variable at a time, like the hook or the CTA, because we understood that changing two things in the same reel made it impossible for us to know which one moved the needle or which one stayed behind. The first pattern showed up fast. People kept bailing on the first few seconds of the video. We started with one hook per idea, whatever felt right. And it told us nothing, because a flop could have meant a weak idea or a weak opening line. And the number that helped us predict these type of things, reach, was skip rate. And the line of measuring was 13 seconds. When viewers stuck longer than 13 seconds, reach and new followers climbed. And when they didn't, nothing moved. So now that we know that, every idea starts with 2 to 3 hooks to test. That way we can see which ones are the ideas that make people stop scrolling, or which one is the camera angle that people like, what hits emotionally, what surprises with a number, all of those things. Now, that focus on hooks got us paying attention to something bigger too. How to talk to an audience that has never ever seen us before. A trial reel means you can try anything, because nothing touches your feed until you decide to share it. So we tried it all. Heavy edited pieces, wild ideas we didn't overthink, another ones that took us a week to put out because we were like brainstorming back and forth, and ones we shot in literally 5 minutes. One of our heavily produced pieces got skipped by viewers by 70%, and it stalled at just over 1,300 views. While a way less super organic video about the same topic kept that skip rate under 44%, and it reached over 10,000 views. So we understood that for us, less production and keeping it natural kept always winning. On that same line, another thing popped up. Introducing yourself online to someone who doesn't know you at all works a lot like meeting a new person. You don't oversell yourself right off the bat. You just let that trust to build first. Every time we open a video leading with Metricool, it stayed under benchmark. Which, I mean, it made sense. We were talking to someone who had never ever heard of us before. Now, when we led with topics that only talked about Claude or Instagram, that same type of reel reached over 10,000 views, 300 saves, and more than 150 shares. So, with all of this said, are trial reels worth it? Well, we've posted 51 of those this month. And 4 of our top 5 came after we started taking trial reels seriously. So, I mean, yes, most of them didn't work, but they gave us a push to start implementing a system to test, learn, and improve before deciding what was worth putting in front of everyone. And if there's one thing we took away from all these weeks, is that a trial reel exists so you can test everything. Nothing you post there touches your feed unless you say so. So there's no really a risk on doing them. Now it's your turn. Have trial reels worked for you? What's the biggest thing you've learned from testing them? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see how to schedule a trial reel in Metricool, I'll leave a video right here where I walk you through it step by step. See you in the next one, Metricooler.